Florence is often described as the birthplace of the Renaissance, a period remembered for art, innovation, and intellectual freedom. But historically, it's also a turning point. This is where older belief systems weren't erased, they were restructured. Florence shows us how Western culture learned to preserve the image of the goddess while quietly removing her authority. By the Renaissance, Europe is moving away from knowledge rooted in ritual, myth, and priesthood. Truth is increasingly located in observation, measurement, and the human intellect. This shift is known as humanism, and it fundamentally changes how the body is understood. Leonardo da Vinci embodies this transition. Through dissection and anatomical study, the body becomes something that can be fully mapped and explained. This includes the female body. Reproductive anatomy, once associated with cosmology, mystery, and divine creation, is reframed as a biological system. The womb is no longer symbolic, it's anatomical. This isn't an attack on women, it's a transfer of authority. Meaning moves from the sacred to the scientific. And once myth loses authority, divine figures can survive only in a new form. At the Uffizi, we see what happens to goddesses in a post-myth world. Figures like Venus don't disappear, they're preserved, admired, and endlessly reproduced. But they no longer govern anything. Venus becomes an allegory for beauty, harmony, or love. She's visually central, but politically and spiritually neutral. At the same time, Christianity elevates Mary. She absorbs the visual language of earlier goddesses, but her role is carefully constrained. She's defined by purity, obedience, and silence rather than power or sovereignty. This is how continuity works. Not by destroying images, but by changing what those images are allowed to mean. By the time we reach Michelangelo's David, the transformation is complete. The body, elevated to near divine status, is now male. David represents reason, control, civic virtue, and moral authority. He wasn't created only as art, he was commissioned as a political symbol, reflecting who Florence believed should embody power. Female figures don't vanish, but they're no longer the symbolic center. The divine body becomes masculine, the feminine becomes decorative, maternal, or symbolic. Florence didn't erase the goddess, it preserved her image while removing her authority. She survives as art, beauty, and metaphor, but not as power. And this model becomes foundational to Western culture. What we admire, what we preserve, and what we quietly remove from influence.